Stone Town is a unique and enchanting travel destination, a place full of mystery and allure, and yet it comes with both a dark past and an enthralling history. Almost every trip to Zanzibar will either begin or end here, so be sure to allocate a few days of your holiday in paradise to exploring the narrow alleyways, ancient buildings, and colourful food markets in this vibrant old town. I ended up spending 4 days getting lost in the heart of Stone Town, on a mission to find the best food, most interesting buildings, and dreamy sunset spots. Here's my guide to Stone Town, Zanzibar, including 17 of the best things to do here. Number 1. Get lost. It might sound strange, but getting lost in the maze that is Stone Town is the best way to get a taste of what's on offer and to hopefully get your bearings in the myriad of narrow laneways and busy town squares. You will pass by beautiful carved wooden doors, art galleries selling vibrant African oil paintings, street food sellers, mosques, churches, temples, and the now famous Shark Corner. Number 2. Stone Town Beach. No matter what direction you walk, you're more than likely to end up at the beach, as 3 sides of the Old Town area are surrounded by sandy shores. While the beach here in Stone Town is nowhere near as dreamy as the ones up north, it's still a treat for the eyes for anyone straight off the plane. You can watch locals dancing to doing acrobatics in the sand, or catch a glimpse of fishing boats or traditional dhows sailing past into the sunset. Number 3. The Old Fort. Right next to the beach is one of the most historic and important buildings in Stone Town, the Old Fort, built by the Arabs from Oman in the 18th century to defend Stone Town from the Portuguese. It's the oldest building in Stone Town and a popular tourist attraction, now full of restaurants, cafes and souvenir stores.
So this amphitheatre that you see here behind me is a new addition that the government built only about 20 or 30 years ago, and it is used for 2 festivals. One festival is the Film Festival, which happens every July, and one festival is a music festival that happens here every January. So everyone sits around here and either watches movies on the big screen or listens to music. So this here is the new section of the fort, this huge grass area here, and they actually use this area for the music festival that I talked about that happens here in January. So they have a big stage over here and the bands play over here. It's also important to notice that this is the new part. So when the Portuguese built the fort, this was not part of it. This was only when the Arabs came later from Oman. The Portuguese had built a church here, right here on this side, and the Arabs destroyed that church and made their fort way bigger.
Number 4. Forodhani Gardens. Right next to the old fort is Forodhani Gardens, which you can visit both in the daytime and at night.
Where I am right now is called Forodhani Gardens. It's a beautiful big park right by the ocean here in the middle of Stone Town, and it's also where a nightly street food market happens called the Forodhani Street Market. Forodhani Street Food Market. And you also have this old bandstand here and an archway, which I'm going to explain to you now. Okay, so this used to be the bandstand of the military belonging to the Sultan, and then behind me you can see this archway. This archway was built when the Queen of England's sister was visiting Zanzibar and they wanted to have a really grand entrance, so they built this archway. So she would come off the boat, this was the port, she would come off her boat, walk here, the band would be playing music, and she would arrive right down here to the customs house. Now the problem was, just before she arrived, they changed the port to the other end down there. So that is where her boat arrived, that is where she got off, and that is where the band was playing. So sadly all this was a bit of a waste of money.
At night time, the gardens turn into a simple but fun local food market, with most stalls selling the same dishes. There's a real mix of cuisine here, from Arabic to Indian, and trying some Zanzibar pizza, as well as a few pieces of grilled meat on a stick, is a must. Stay away from the seafood though, at least that's what I was told. Number 5. Prison Island. Prison Island is a fun half-day trip from Stone Town, with boats leaving right from the seafront. They take you to the gorgeous Prison Island, which is now a sanctuary for giant turtles.
Oh yeah, you like that.
The beach here is also stunning, and you'll have some time to go snorkeling in the crystal clear waters before the boat drops you back to Stone Town a few hours later. Number 6. Admire the Zanzibar Doors. One of the most unusual things to see in Zanzibar, and a totally free activity, is to check out as many as the city's beautiful wooden carved doors, some complete with metal spikes for decorations, a feature once used in India to fend off elephants from rubbing against the doors. Sadly, it's a bit of a dying tradition in Zanzibar, with doors like this taking so much time and money to carve, but you will still see a lot of them throughout town, some pretty big and spectacular. Number 7. Find a good sunset bar. Most guidebooks tell everyone to go watch the sunset from Africa House Hotel. And while I did go there for one sunset, I no longer believe it's the best place in Zanzibar to watch the sun go down. Other bars I enjoyed visiting included the much more chilled out Traveller's Cafe, right next to the beach, and the newly opened Beach House, which has stunning decor, a fun Zanzibar sign and photo spot, and some of the absolute best cocktails on the island. Number 8. Eat at Lukmaan.
I've been recommended a restaurant called Lukmaan's. Apparently it has really authentic local cuisine. Now it is quite popular with tourists as it's in Lonely Planet and all these guidebooks and stuff, but my guide today, who's from Zanzibar, still says it's a good place to eat, and he actually regularly goes there. He said, yeah, you will find a lot of tourists, but the food is really good, and it's a good way to kind of find authentic Zanzibar cuisine that won't make you sick. I don't know if you can see, but it's super cheap. So 2,500 is €1. So all of these are less than €1. I had no idea how much anything cost because it's kind of like a buffet style. There's just kind of glasses, like a glass front, and then all different types of curries and different types of like samosa and spring rolls and everything. Like I don't know what any of them are, like kisambucha, michichawa supa, michichawa nasi, miseto wa chuko. I don't know what any of this is. Is that right?
This is mchicha is spinach.
Okay.
And this with the coconut, and this mchicha soup is just boiled spinach.
Okay.
Then kisambu, it is cassava leaf, you know cassava?
Oh, cassava, yeah.
Yes.
You also have a drinks menu, so everything's about, I guess, €1, just over €1 for like a pineapple passion juice or watermelon juice. Really not the biggest fan of mango, but mango is huge here. They're so into mango, and passion fruit is always delicious. So. Okay, it's actually really good. And it tastes more like passion fruit than mango, which is a good thing.
Some hot sauce.
Yeah, I'd like to try some, yeah, thanks. So I've ordered
samosa, you asked, yeah?
samosa, yeah. This is the chapati, and I'm trying this coconut pea curry, which I've never really heard of before. So it's essentially a pea curry. My plan was to show you guys me eating the food, but I was too hungry. Whoops! So I just ate the whole thing. As you can imagine, it was amazing. I'm not a food blogger, so I'm not going to describe the food. I'm just going to tell you it was delicious. My plate is empty, and I'm heading off now.
Number 9. Try some Indian food. With such a large Indian influence, along with many other cultures of course, finding one of Zanzibar's best Indian restaurants is a must. There's a few to choose from, but I personally loved the Silk Route. So much I ended up going back there twice. Mouth-watering samosas and curries, and a delightful coconut lassi. Number 10. Go souvenir shopping. I'm not normally a big fan of souvenir shopping, but in Stone Town you can actually get some high quality souvenirs. Be it dolls created by female entrepreneurs, to beautiful paintings, handmade purses and bags, to beautiful clothes in small boutiques. Shopping here is like a dream. Number 11. Visit the Darajani Fish Market. The Darajani Market is the largest food market on the island, with large sections dedicated to meat, fish and vegetables. It's not for the light-hearted, with actual animal carcasses and some pretty interesting smells. One of the most fun things to do here is to go to the fish section in the morning to witness the fish auction, where they quickly and expertly auction off the catch of the day. Number 12. Visit the former slave market. The slave market, now a Christian cathedral, brings light to Stonetown's dark past as a centre for slave trading.
So Stone Town of Zanzibar bears a great symbolic in separation of slave trade, which had the biggest slave market in East Africa and the last one to be closed in 1873, and that has been now the third thing that made Stone Town being announced as a World Heritage Site. So this whole part inside is the area of the old slave market, opened at the end of 17th century, but opening the market did not mark the beginning of slavery. It marked the beginning of official slavery. Therefore, it was legal to sell and buy slaves at this place.
It's quite horrific to read up about where the slaves were brought in from, where they were kept, and how they were sold. And while disturbing, I think it's a place everyone visiting Zanzibar should come and take some time to visit and learn about. Number 13, check out the old dispensary. Stonetown has a lot of gorgeous buildings dating back to the 18th and 19th century, many with an interesting and colourful history. The old dispensary is one of these historic landmark buildings that needs to be visited. This finely decorated building, complete with carved doors, stained glass decorations, and a large covered courtyard, was used as a dispensary in the early 20th century, built by a wealthy Indian who intended to use it as a charitable hospital for the poor. Number 14, see Freddie Mercury's house.
You can't come to Stonetown without dropping by Freddie Mercury's house. So this is the house where he lived with his sister and his parents before he moved to India for his education and then later moved to the UK. Temple House Hotel. Freddie Mercury house. There's even a lot of cool photos of him performing on stage with Queen.
Number 15, stay in a historic Arabic-style hotel. There are many beautiful hotels in Stonetown that come with rich interiors and an interesting past. I checked into the Dow Palace Hotel that was once the family home of a rich merchant whose family owned this building for more than 3 centuries. The building and furniture feel like a living museum, and the building layout gives real Moroccan Riyadh vibes, complete with open courtyard in the centre and unique water features, and even a rooftop perfect for watching the sunset. Number 16, take a walk down by the port. It's a fun walk to Zanzibar's main port, where the ships and ferries that go to mainland Tanzania and other islands dock. There's a beautiful promenade, complete with a long line of palm trees, and it's magical to walk along during that golden hour just before sunset. You'll also pass some of Zanzibar's most important and architecturally beautiful buildings. Number 17, visit the House of Wonders. Finally, no visit to Zanzibar would be complete without stopping off at the House of Wonders.
Some fun facts about this building here, which is called the House of Wonders and is one of the most famous buildings here in Stonetown. It was called the House of Wonders because of its size, because it's absolutely massive, and when people were sailing up, you have to remember that the water would have gone right along here where the road now is. People would have sailed up and seen this massive building. And the other thing is, they say this building was the first building in all of Stonetown, in all of Zanzibar, to get electricity. So people would be sailing in, would never maybe even have seen electricity before, and suddenly they'd see this massive, wonderful building full of light, and thus the House of Wonders. See what it used to look like? So the tower was much further away, and all the boats were right in front of the building. The beach ran along here, and this was the old House of Wonders, the first building to get electricity in all of Zanzibar.
Well, that's it. 17 unique things to do in Stonetown, Zanzibar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel.